Yo, what's going on, party people? Can I keep it a buck with y'all? I'm tired. I'm tired, man. I'm tired. I've been under the weather. I've been sick. I'm beyond tired. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm borderline exhausted. Um, it's been that kind of start to the year at work. To be expected, maybe not. I don't know. But yet here I am, sitting in front of this camera, sitting on this microphone with this ugly, whoo, my God, no makeup. It's ugly blemish on my nose. But yeah, that's what I kind of want to talk to you. Today is January the 7th, 2024. I'm gonna try to be quick. And every time I say I'm gonna try to be quick, it never happens. So today is January the 7th. And the title of this video is Day 2 as a YouTuber. And I'm kind of doing it like this because, you know, people just get information and they just go on to the next step. They don't sit with it. You know, they don't really let it sink in. You know what I'm saying? We've already established that YouTube is not easy. I'm tired and I'm up here. You know what I'm saying? You got to do what you got to do. In the last video, you know, I talked about pulling out my notes. I talked about starting out like you can hold it out. So we talked about replacing the word algorithm with the word audience, making sure you create content for your audience and not the algorithm. Number 2, we talked about defining your why and making sure you're setting goals. And number 3, we talked about choosing your niche or really choosing your identity. And one of the main takeaways from the last video is creating content is an act of service. And because it's an act of service, we really got to draw into question, do we really have what it takes to sustain our start? It's January the 7th, and this is technically day 2 as a YouTuber, you know? A lot of people went to the gym on January 1st. Are they still there? You know, are you holding on, you know what I'm saying, to your resolutions? Are you holding on to your goals and everything that you said you wanted to do? Or has 2025 already kind of made you seem like, you know what, take me back to 2024, or I'll start when I get to February, or I'll start when I get to March? How many times, how many years, how many months, how many days, how many weeks are going to go by where you keep saying, I'll start when, or I will do this when, I will do, you may never get an opportunity to do it. So I put off tomorrow what you can start today. You know, so I want to challenge you and question, not question you, but I want to ask you the question, how's your momentum? It's 7 days in to this journey. You know what I'm saying? A lot of you who are beginners, a lot of you who are just starting, this is my wellness check. Day 2 as a YouTuber, it's a reality check. Day 1, I gave you 6, you know, 3, 4, 5, 6 days to kind of really sit with the information and see how you really feel about it. Have you already recorded your first video yet? These are literal questions you can actually answer. Put in the comments. Have you recorded your first video yet? And why haven't you recorded your first video? Do you feel like you need more information? Do you feel like you need the equipment? Do you feel like you need the camera? Do you feel like you need the lights? Do you feel like you need the audio? All of those different things. All right. But 3 things. I'm still teaching, so I want to give you 3 things today to help you keep the momentum going. All right. Let's start with number 1. I want you to set realistic expectations. I want to bring the iPad back. I was doing a couple of videos where I was notating on the iPad and I thought that was dope. I want to bring that back, but I enjoy just talking to you guys like this. I want you to set realistic expectations. And we talked about setting goals, understanding your why and setting goals, and really like being honest with yourself. Like, why are you on this platform? What do you want to do? You trying to be famous? Do you already have a business or a service? You know, you're trying to grow. Do you just have a passion, something you're passionate about that you just want to talk about? You want to make money and you feel like, you know, creating content or being on YouTube is an easy way, you know, or a sustainable way for you to make money. Like, what's your why? Okay. And once you figure out what that is and you're planning your goals, let's go back and look at those goals and see where they're realistic. And when I say realistic, as far as your goals, let's set realistic expectations in meeting those goals, and really not so much realistic expectations for yourself, but realistic expectations for yourself and your audience. A lot of you who are new to the platform, you did not see everything that was happening last year, over the past year, where there were major creators who were quitting, people who were tired, people who were burnt out. I'm not burnt out, you know, in general. I'm just tired because I don't do this full time. I don't do YouTube full time. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I don't know if I want to create content full time. Why? Because YouTube is not easy. It's a grind. I work in IT. I talk to people all day long. I fix problems all day long. You can probably see it in my eyes, which is why I'm wearing the hat to kind of give my eyes a rest. But I fix issues. I solve problems. I analyze things. I research things. I'm talking all day long. But setting realistic expectations means asking the question, not what troubles you as it relates to being consistent, because you know my rule of thumb with that. If was a fifth, we'd all be drunk. You don't have a consistency issue. If you know what I'm getting ready to say, I want you to type it down. I'm about to say type it in the chat like I'm live, but put it in the comment section. You don't have a consistency issue. You have a capacity issue. Because capacity deals with motive, capacity deals with intent, capacity deals with priority, capacity deals with what you have, what are you committed to? All right. Remember, I said creating content is an act of service. I'm tired, but I'm committed. I'm exhausted, but I'm committed. I've been under the weather. I've been sick, but I'm committed. I'm committed to showing up and helping you and showing you how to really grow your YouTube channel, how you can start your YouTube channel the right way. Why? Because I believe in you. I know for a fact, based on my own experience, my own results, and the things that I've been able to accomplish, that there is an audience assigned to your voice. And that audience is going to help you build a better brand. That audience is going to help you grow your business. And that audience is going to help you create a community around the things that you're most passionate about. So do I feel like getting on this camera and talking? No, but I'm committed. I'd rather be in my bed, sleep, but I'm committed. My body will probably appreciate when I get off of this camera and lay down. But guess what? I'm committed, and I have enough capacity left to be committed to what I said I was going to do for you. And that's show up. And that's why I'm here. I always talk to people. People always say, man, you know, I got so much going on. Okay, what do you have the capacity to do? What do you have the capacity to do? Because if you don't have the capacity to do it, then don't do it. Be honest with yourself. A lot of people want to do things, but they don't want to be honest with themselves. They're not really committed. They're committed to the idea of what it looks like because they've fallen in love with this Photoshop reality that people are presenting, that YouTube is easy. It is not. We've already established that. You know what I'm saying? So if especially like I'm single, I work in IT, you know what I'm saying? I have a little, little commitments that I do as far as what I need to do with business and all of that. And I'm also an entrepreneur, thought leader, community leader, all of those different types of things. But you have to ask yourself and establish, what do you have the capacity to be committed to? Because your audience has an expectation to see you. So what is the expectation that you have set for them? All right, which leads into a point of emphasis that I don't want to answer, but I want to speak to, and we're going to jump into a lot more here on as far as posting every day. I know everybody that's out here preaching that YouTube is easy, and everybody that's growing is talking about you got to post every day. You got to post every day. You got to post multiple videos a day. That works for who it works for. But if it doesn't work for you, it doesn't work for you. I don't post every day. I've done it. And has it helped grow my channels? Yes. Has it made me go viral? No. Do I advise people do it? No. If you ain't got no job and you kind of doing this full time and you ain't got nothing else to do, I would kind of say go for it. But at the same time, do you want to eat the same thing every day? Do you want chicken every day? Do you want steak every day? You know what I'm saying? Do you literally want to eat a salad, the same type of salad every day? Like I know people meal plan and we do leftovers, this, that, and the third, but do you want to eat everything like the same thing every day? Remember we talked about the whole restaurant thing and it being an act of service and what's on the menu. We talked about picking your niche and really picking your identity and not really being locked in, but understand even though you may have multiple things to offer, what is the main thing that people come for and the other things that cause them to bring other people with them? Like, do you have things on the menu where I can invite my folks with you? Because I like steak, but my people is vegan. Do you have vegan options? Do you have things that they can still enjoy that aren't so far off the rocker, so far off the map, so far off the radar from your restaurant, where it's still going to make sense? You got to start looking at YouTube like that. And so posting every day is a good way to be seen in the specific industry community that you're in, but also you might overextend yourself. So I want you to think about that. I don't tell people to post every day. I don't tell people that they shouldn't post every day. I tell people get in where you fit in. Somebody had that question and I was talking to somebody about this. So I wanted to throw that in there and hopefully that answers a question that you may have. Should you post every day? I personally, I've done it. I think it's cool. I don't think it's worth it. Not for my niche, not for my industry, because it can get exhausting and it's like, all right, this is a lot, you know. But there are some people, if you vlog, you know, and you have enough of an interest in life that you feel like, hey, you want to post every day, or if you want to challenge yourself just to show up, I say, hey, go for it. But I did just want to throw that out there. But staying in that same vein of setting realistic expectations, and as far as your restaurant, number one, we talked about setting realistic expectations. Number two, what are your hours of operation? What are your hours of operation? I have restaurants that I love to go to, and then there are a couple of people who have recently opened restaurants in the past couple of years. It's kind of difficult to really patronize them because I don't never know when they're going to be open. Supposed to be open on this day, they might not be open. Don't you hate that? And they have amazing food. Like, remember when I told you how, you know, marketing is how you feel about yourself and branding is how your audience feels about you. And a lot of us are getting high off our own supply and we want to make a first impression instead of a lasting impression. And you see people who look the part, but then you talk to them and their breath stinks. It's the same thing when you want to patronize a business or go somewhere that is absolutely, let me not say that. Let me tell you about me. Let me talk about my failures because like I told you, Uncle Shannon said, a wise man learns from somebody else's mistakes. A fool learns from his own. So let me talk about my failures. Let's not do hypothetical situations. I'm amazing at what I do. I got a gold thumb. Whatever I put my hands to, I'm amazing. But as an admin, I suck. Pause. Like I suck. I'm terrible. Now I'm not really terrible. It's just that I don't have the capacity to do that. So I'm great at what I do. And even though I consider myself to be an amazing communicator, I sucked as it relates to keeping up communication with the people I was in business with. And it caused a lot of issues. It caused a lot of failures. It caused a lot of headaches. It caused a lot of, you know what I'm saying, money issues, all different types of things, you know what I'm saying? But it's the same thing when you see people who have amazing potential, but it's like, yo, they just can't get right. If they could ever get out of their own way, they would actually be great. And so there's a restaurant that serves amazing food. Every time they're open, their line is out the door, but you never know when you actually gonna get your food, if you're gonna get it, because you don't know when they're gonna be open. Not to mention, you don't even know what's going to necessarily be on the menu because now you're trying to keep up with social media to figure out what they're serving today. That is crazy work. That is nasty work. And that is despicable as a content creator. So imagine if you were doing that to your people. Imagine you are this amazing person that has this amazing content that people are lined up to consume and see, but they don't know when you're going to be open. They don't know what days you're open. And then on those days, they don't know the times that you're open. In setting realistic expectations, you also have to establish a pattern with your audience. All of this goes back to what do you have the capacity to do? So if you only have the capacity to post one video a week, been there, done that on Mondays at 9:36 a.m., then post that video at 9:36 a.m. and your audience is going to reward you because they're going to show up. There's going to be a line out the door waiting to consume the content that you created every single Monday at 9:36 a.m. And then in turn, the algorithm is going to reward you. And they're going to say, at this time, we're going to push out all of Walter's content to everybody for the world to see. Because we know he already has a line of people out the door waiting to get what it is that he's pushing. So again, we're talking about setting realistic expectations based on what you have the capacity to do so you can make sure you set the table properly for the people that are going to be attending dinner. I guess I'm hungry, but I just ate. So I'm just trying to feed y'all real game, real knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because this is not easy. I'm tired. I am exhausted. But again, I understand that my restaurant is open at this time on this date. Now take it from me, my hours honestly haven't been consistent. So that's really kind of bad advice. You know what I'm saying? Let me give myself a demerit. That's bad advice. And I want to get back to a consistent time. I'm gonna just be honest with you. I'm not there right now. I used to post on a specific day at 12 o'clock. On my other channel, that's basically what it is. When I post videos on Wednesdays, it's typically at 12, and then Fridays at 12. And I used to live stream every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Guess what? I'm tired. So I pretty much still stick to my Wednesday and Friday schedule, that Monday schedule. But as far as I'm concerned, at this point, it's like get it out on the day you're supposed to get it out. But I can do that because I've established that level of rapport and trust with my audience. So as long as they see it, they're good. Because I'm serving food that does not perish. It's a non-perishable item. You might be serving fresh food, so that's not going to work. I'm serving canned goods over here. You know what I'm saying? As it relates to fragrance. So number one, again, set realistic expectations. What do you have the capacity to be committed to? Number two, what are your hours of operation? When can people expect to see you? You know what I'm saying? Because I want to make sure that you're creating a content schedule. I want to make sure you're creating a content schedule. And I'm going to challenge you, just like I talked about posting every day as it relates to posting. If you have not posted your first video, I want to hear in the comments why you haven't, and I want to challenge you. Give me 10. This is the Give Me 10 challenge. Give me 10. Don't script it. Don't figure it out. Just turn on the camera, whether you got a phone or you got a camera like mine set up. Just give me 10. Just turn on. I didn't edit this. I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything fancy to it. I hit record. I started talking, and then I press end, and then I hit upload. I want you to do the same thing. And whatever it is that you're passionate about, I want you to talk about it. I want you 10 different times from different aspects. I don't care. Whatever you think your niche is, whatever you think you identified in that first video we talked about at day one as a YouTuber, I want you to go ahead and start talking about that. And I want you to give me 10 videos because I'm not going to take you serious until you give me 10. This is like being on the football team. Drop down, give me 10. Being in the Army. I didn't say give me 50. I didn't say give me 20. I didn't say give me 100. I mean, give me one. Because my hope is that most of you that watched the previous video that you've given me one by now. It's 17 minutes. So I'm going to try to do these less than 20 minutes. Well, so you got to hurry up and you got one more point to get through. But give me 10. I just want to throw that out there. Give me 10 videos. Don't script it. It ain't got to be perfect. Upload it. Hit public. All right. And number 3, I want you to embrace the fear of success. I've said this multiple times. If you've been following me, I said this on the last video. Most people have a reference point for failure. You've been failing all your life. You're used to hearing no. But what happens if you actually do a good job? What happens if it works? What happens if you actually succeed? What happens if you're good at it? What happens if you go viral? What happens if your channel grows? What happens if you get monetized? What happens if you're bringing in an extra $1,000, $1,500, $500, an extra $100 a month, for an extra $50? It's more money than you had the day before. So what happens if that actually works? A lot of us are stuck, and I'm saying us because there are still some things in my life that I'm working through, that I'm trying to do it afraid, that I'm trying to do it scared, that I'm doing it without a blueprint, that I'm doing it without a script, that I'm saying, you know what, we just got to do it. So what is the worst thing that can happen? That you grow, that you become a better communicator, that you learn to understand, you know what I'm saying, how to become a better speaker, that the people at work see what you do, and then you start doing training videos. You start doing promotion videos that other people call you and say, hey, can you create content for me? Because these are the things that have happened for me, that companies reach out to you and send you free merch, and you want to do PR, all of these different types of things, because YouTube is not easy, but it's worth it and it's rewarding. And even if you're not necessarily growing in numbers on the platform, I can guarantee you that if you stick to it, if you set realistic expectations, if you set the proper temperature for your audience, if you let them know what's on the menu, what days you're going to be open and what time you're going to be showing up, that they will show up. They might not show up the first video. They might not show up the 10th video. It may take 20 videos, it may take 50, it may take 100, but eventually the audience that is assigned to your voice is going to show up. If you be honest with yourself, if you be transparent, if you be authentic, if you show up as the real version of yourself and not a Photoshop copy of somebody that you've fallen in love with, I promise you, I guarantee it, like Denzel Washington, it's my product. I stick by it. I guarantee it that they will show up. Your audience may be 1, your audience may be 100, your audience may be 1 million, but eventually that audience will show up, and that audience has the ability to change your life. One of the biggest contracts I ever had in my life was with the government, the United States government. It was with the CDC. It was during COVID, and I got that contract. You know why? Because I had an audience of one that popped up, that saw the way I did live streams and said, I like the way you do that. I have an opportunity for you. Would you do it? This is why I go so hard. This is why I'm so passionate about this. And I'm over my time, so I got to close. This is my third close like a Baptist preacher. No, I don't have 1 million subscribers. I don't care. I don't need them, because subscribers don't equate the money. Y'all know how many people out here broke? And we get so fooled by the numbers. And you listening to people just because they got the numbers. But numbers do lie. Because there are people out here with large followings who are not making any money because they haven't set realistic expectations for themselves, or that they didn't even have a plan for when they were going to grow. Expect to grow. Expect to make it. Expect to be successful. Change the narrative that keeps playing in your mind that says, I can't do it. See yourself doing it. Write it down. Write it down. That's what we talked about in setting realistic expectations. I still want you to set your goals and see you accomplishing those goals. That way, it's not that you get comfortable. It's not that it becomes routine, but it builds a level of confidence that keeps you coming back because you're reminded of your why. And now your why becomes fuel that you give to somebody else. Because though I'm tired, I'm committed. I have enough left in the tank. I made sure that I have a big enough gas tank that even when I feel like I'm empty, I got 40 miles left. This is my 40 miles, and I'm getting ready to go to the gas station to refill. But I've given y'all my last 40 miles. Why? Because I'm committed. And I know the possibilities that can come from this. So I want to give you real, attainable, sustainable, tangible things that you can take, use, and apply. Not this fluff. Why? Because YouTube is not easy, man. But it's worth it. So again, just quick recap. How we gonna keep the momentum going? How we gonna keep the fire going? If you fell off for a couple days, jump back in there. Set realistic expectations. What do you have the capacity to be committed to? All right. What are your hours of operation? What is your content schedule? When can people expect to see you? Go ahead and establish that. Let them know so we can start building a pattern so the algorithm can start to see the algorithm of your audience. All right. And then number 3, embrace the fear of success. You don't have a fear of failure because you've been failing, but you've never succeeded before. And 2025 is going to be the first year that you get it right. 2025 is going to be the first year that you make it. 2025 is going to be the first year that it all comes together. 2025 is the first year that you're going to get to the end of the year with no excuses. 2025 is going to be the first year that you get to the end of the year and you're going to look back and be like, oh my God, look at what I accomplished. I started the business. I started the channel. I wrote the book. I spoke at the conference. I opened the business. You're going to look back at the end of this year and you're going to be like, oh my God, look at everything I did. Why? Because I embraced the fear of success. That might be my, I'm about to say my next book, because I have several books, Walt, that need to be published. Already written, just need to be published. So I need to embrace the fear of success. I know what it looks like to be afraid. I know what it looks like to fail. But I also know what it looks like to bounce back. Apologize to the people you hurt. Apologize to yourself. Pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and try again. All right? So remember, give me 10. I need y'all to give me 10. Don't be so focused on posting every day. Just give me 10. Be honest with yourself. Let people know when you're going to be open. You know what I'm saying? Hey, guys, my food is amazing, but I can only serve it one time a week. And that's fine. And I promise you, everybody else going to shut down because they're going to be trying to get your food that one day out the week. I love y'all. I'm proud of you. If nobody has told you, much success. Day 2 as a YouTuber. Let's keep the momentum going. I'll holler at y'all. Catch you in the next video. Be easy.